But yeah, we have council getting to eat at maybe the Red Lobster when they're in Seattle. You know, Pike's Market thinking they're funny and getting gifts for their families. And we have starving people right out their council windows. You know that. We all know that. But no band is better than the next. We all live on this reservation. We all need to care about each other. Because we can sing doesn't make us better than anybody else. Because we can talk our language doesn't make us better than anybody else. Because we can recite our heritage doesn't make us better than anybody else. I have 4 college degrees. I know my language. I know my heritage. But I also know how our people are hurting. And if this is a cause that's going to bring everybody together, I hope it works. I really hope and pray that it works. But I hope that each and every one of you that are involved in this, remember, there's a whole bunch of others out there counting on you because they still don't have the courage to come forward. They don't know what to expect. They don't know the outcome, what's going to be said tomorrow about what occurred. My girl gave me a really good report from the Nestelam one, and I thought, well, I wasn't invited. Why were you there? I wasn't invited. But I guess you don't need an invite if you just want to come and have her say so. And then I was glad to ride over with my partner, Joan. Her and I have a lot of ideas, and we believe that strong women can heal this reservation. And you know, I believe that's where our heart is. If we get back to strong women again, we're not bitches. We're not sleep-arounds. We're not doormats. We're not somebody that can't speak up for ourselves. We are nurturers, we are grandmothers, we are mothers, we are aunties, we are sisters, and we are community advocates. No man is superior to me. The woman is the heart and the heart of the home. I know a lot of you guys are single working parents or have been at one time or another. You're single parents, you have children to raise. Who influenced you the most? I bet you can think of your grandmother or your auntie. Nobody says my godfather or my grandfather. But we do think that, but most of us relied on our grandparents or mothers. And so as we see this movement, see it as coming out of the womb into the light, that everybody will benefit, not just a few. Don't make it special interests. Make it for those 2 little children over there. Make it for everybody in the good of our tribe. Amen.
Once again, like I was going to say, that was a great speech, and it was very moving, and it is the truth. When you talk about the woman being such a strong spirit, I was raised for a good percentage of my life by a single mother who had the skills because she was able to look back at a lot of her hardships. But a lot of her hardships, she was able to look back at those as stepping stones, as growth tools that she could use to better apply and prepare herself, because these incidents, these hardships, they are repeated. And people continue making these mistakes when situations are reoccurring by not understanding to analyze and learn to realize that this situation that happens, it repeats itself. And it's by the goodwill of the higher power that they repeat, because something we missed from that last situation, we didn't completely understand or learn it. This was something that was taught to me not by my father, who I didn't get to meet until recently, of 33 years. I'm 37 now, and like a lot of households on the reservations, a lot of low-income areas, you'll find a lot of the same problems, issues, where a lot of children have to be raised by single-parent homes, whether it's the dad, which is a smaller percentage, but all the power to those fathers who rarely do step up, but a lot of us that do, it's you know, something that's given so much compliment, so much praise, where a mother can go, whatever, we do that all the time. And I say, you know, I'm glad that I was able to step down and listen to that speech for, because, you know, just besides introducing myself to you guys as the son of Linda Louie, and which I say so proudly, is it was because of her strength. It was because of the disadvantages and the discriminations that she had to face. And she was subjected to being a radical. She was put into the reputation of, you know, someone who stood up for herself. She was blackballed. She wasn't given an opportunity in a lot of positions because of the good old boy system, knowing that it could be breached if you have somebody with, you know, goals, someone with vision, someone who's doing something right. And that kind of person could easily get pushed out. You see it all over. And this kind of government that we're under right now it's kind of a standard form of government. And what that means is we are so fresh as a government. I mean, not until like 75, where we, you know, where we were given an opportunity to be our own sovereign nation, that it's still new to us as a government, and we are vulnerable to a lot of, you know, criminal activity. The good old boy system, you can see it's inevitable that you're going to have a lot of closed door session. Why? Because their decision is going to be affected if this good old boy system is exploited in front of open doors to other people who it might affect, like making a decision based on, you know, whether my last name is, you know, Louis, and Louis aren't going to preach it because I owe them favors, because their good old boy system is what got me into here. There's not going to be any progress, no growth under this kind of standard form of government. And like Lynn was saying, there's like two types of governments. And the one we are under right now, the standard form, we aren't any bit independent whatsoever. No independence. Not when we can hide behind, what is the choice word? Administration. Administration is a non-indigenous person, 10 times out of 10, making all the decisions for us. When we go under this type of government, 10 times out of 10, the non-indigenous decision will not be in the best interest of us tribal people. We, as a younger generation, it is just passed on that all this oppression, all this repression has been passed on to us. You see it, and it's scary to see into the souls and the eyes of so much hardship. Everybody's story up here, one way or another, has been infected by this virus of dictatorship, I want to call it, because there's some insecure people who are given this power position, and you can tell when they come up to you and tell you your vote don't matter. How embarrassing. Illuminating ignorance at its peak by saying your vote don't matter, forgetting they came to your window and campaigned saying, will you vote for me? Well, they certainly acted like you were their boss at that moment. Pretty convincing. That happened to me. And I've come to these council people for a reminder, like, do you remember me voting you in? And this just breaks my heart. And when we have these repeated moments, because I hear that up until the OMAC meeting, I had never been to a membership prior. That was one of the most beautiful moments I've ever experienced in my life. Besides having my 5 kids, my 3 businesses, my wife, the moment of all of us coming together as one, with the attitude of not letting pride, which all of us do have, behind closed doors, as long as you know that it's not me the one saying it, as long as you're not worried about the other person finding out you're the one saying it. We have been oppressed so much. I don't know anybody who was accountable behind what they heard. Everybody, it's a virus. I heard this, I know, I heard the same thing. But all of this negativity is just all the reaction of a reactive mentality. Reactive mentality is everybody talking and not really, whoa. Reactive thinking is negative and it's oppressive. Reactive thinking is looking at a cup that's halfway filled with liquid, and a reactive thinker will say that cup is half empty. We are all in here together tonight as one, being proactive. We are feeling it as a confederated tribe. We aren't looking at our last names, taking too much pride in our last name.